All right, good morning YouTube. It is Nick with NK Landscaping again as usual. We got a brisk 17-degree morning here. You can see the truck is already hooked to the gooseneck. The excavator was already on the gooseneck, but I took it off because we need the skid steer. But we're having some morning troubles. Drop a comment if you could figure out what you think is happening right now. I need to go get a couple tools. Kurt's up there working on the problem, but let's get a couple tools and go see what we're having trouble with. All right, we got the mule. Any guesses? Let's go save Kurt. So Kurt learned a valuable lesson today. Kurt, you want to inform what's going on? It's frozen. Yeah. So Kurt learned the hard way when you don't shovel your tracks out. So the past few weeks you can see all the water. It's been nothing but wet up here. So anytime we use the skid steer, the tracks get full of mud. Well, it's 17 degrees today, and that is not mud anymore. That is a rock solid frozen mess, and our tracks are locked up solid. So we got the generator and the kerosene heater. We're gonna have to warm all this up and chip that out of there. This is gonna take a while. We gotta do both sides, so let's get to it. Well, now it's the old waiting game. Generator powering the kerosene heater, trying to blow it at the most frozen region. That'll get it done. It's just gonna take a minute. So as you can see there, we got this thing spun around using the help of the excavator because this track is still frozen up. Big tip here, if you have the electronic control bobcat, I put the machine in H pattern controls. H pattern controls means that instead of having the left joystick control all of your forward back functions, it puts it so the left joystick controls the left track, right joystick controls the right track. That allows me to focus all of the hydraulic power to one side at a time. So we're going to chisel out the other side, get that clean, and hopefully in another 20-30 minutes we'll be able to get all this loaded up on the trailer. what good is a day without a little bit of struggle, right? Keeps you on your toes. That is all cleaned out. It probably took 45 minutes, all said and done. Not too bad. We're gonna get loaded up now and finally get off to the job. It'll be a fun day. Before we go, I finally got a new winch cover to replace this crusty guy. You know, we have this winch on this trailer for when we need it. It doesn't get used very often. It's just a Harbor Freight special. But keeping it covered is very important. I hope it fits. I read the reviews and said it did. It's going. Come on. You can do it. It's on there. There you go. Yeah, keep your winch covered if you have one. It really makes it last a lot longer. Keeps it out of the elements. It's not good looking, but better looking than this thing. Alright, let's go to the job. We are here on site now. Nice drive up here. Takes about an hour. So we're gonna get all unstrapped, unloaded. I'll walk you through exactly what's going on here. Our fill should be showing up today, so that's good too. About this job here. So, right in front of us, that is the foundation of a very, very old stone home. We're gonna pull all of the suitable rocks out of there. We're gonna move the logs in a second. So basically, we're gonna pull out all of the good stones. Some of them have concrete and junk on them. All the good stones are going to get piled down at the base of the property line, and then we're getting a bunch of fill brought in to fill in that hole, and we're going to regrade this whole area. So first thing we got to do, he had some trees blow apart in one of the windstorms we had, so we're going to get all that moved out of here. He wanted that moved, and then we're going to get picking through all these rocks here, so that's how we're going to start. best to sort everything out. Like we said, we're basically trying to keep anything larger than 1 foot in diameter. Otherwise, it could just get buried. About what's going on here. You may see this random rock wall here that I'm making. Basically, the client just asked us to pile the rocks up and down here. Said if you want to make a wall, go for it. They just kind of want to keep the better looking rocks, and you know, why not build up that bottom berm? Because they did say they possibly want to do a little more fill than what we had originally planned on. So you can see Kurt zooming around up there. He's trying to take off some of the high spots, fill in some of the low spots up there. The whole goal of this project is really to just give them a flatter area. You know, the guy's got a kid, at least one kid, and this property, it's a beautiful property. So I think the whole deal is they're from the city, and this is a place for them to come and spend some time. You know, I don't know if the kid plays sports or anything, but they want some outdoor area where they're able to enjoy and spend some time as a family, because up by the house is quite hilly and steep. So, and they're just kind of tired of looking at, you know, the remnants of an old house. So my big goal here is just to get rid of all of the larger boulders. That's going to make grading a big nightmare. So if I can put them down here, I can build a little wall, and depending on how far he wants to go with the fill, we can fill right up against the rock and use that as like a small, I wouldn't say retaining wall, because this is not structural. I'm not spending a lot of time on this wall because it was not bid for, but I do want to move these rocks, and that's a good way to get rid of them. So we're making some progress. Client came out, he is happy with what we're doing. We're all on the same page. I'm just using the dozer blade here just to cut this hump out of the top. The whole goal is really just to get this to as even as a grade as possible. You know, the more level the better, but you know, it's a downhill down to the skid steer. We can't get it perfectly level. It's funny, I was saying to Kurt when we were bidding this job, this is like a perfect job for a little dozer, and a little dozer is something I've always wanted. Now, you know, I find that an excavator and a skid steer combo are probably a lot more versatile. But it's funny because as a kid, you know, my favorite toy was a dozer, and my favorite thing to watch was probably a dozer. But I think something like a little D3, maybe even a D2 would do us really nicely in the future. And I've always said to Kurt that that's something I want to get if a deal ever comes around. It's something that you don't use a lot, but on a job like here, I think a dozer would be really, really nice. You'd be able to get a pretty good rough grade in. You still need the skid steer and the excavator, but it would do a better job of cutting in this rough grade. And here I am using my little mini dozer blade on the excavator. But dirt is moving and things are happening, so I'm just gonna keep ripping around, and then I'm doing like cleanup behind curb, picking out any rocks. We opted to not do any topsoil on this job because we told him we're probably going to get some settling, so we don't want to recommend topsoil until maybe in the spring, after we get the freeze thaw from the winter. Things have had some time to settle. We can do some topsoil in here if he wants, so here we go. Alright, a third load of dirt is showing up as we speak. Still one more load. I don't think that's going to come while we're here today because it's already 3 o'clock and it's going to get dark soon. And this job was bid for multiple days anyway. You might be able to see Alex is heading out. So the place he was getting in the dirt, they're closed for today now. They closed at 3. It's now 3:20. So we are not getting any more dirt today. That's alright. That's kind of what we expected. Like I said, this was bid for, I think it's like a 2 or 3 day job. Because we still have to seed and straw this whole thing when we're done. But yeah. So we're gonna spread out the load that he just dumped, so that's another 20 tons or 20 yards or whatever you want to call it. It's more like 20 tons. We're gonna get that all spread out, get everything kind of slicked up, because we are expected to get snow tonight, and hopefully we can get back here by mid to late this week. We'll get this all wrapped up. If not, we'll have to figure something else out. But I'm just going through here and I'm scraping back some of this dirt. This is a little more topsoil dirt from the top there. I'm just trying to find any high spots and bring them down. It's the one nice thing about the excavator. You can be a bit more precision than the skid steer. Kurt is spreading dirt down at the bottom. Alex was able to back up really far. So he brought that dirt kind of right to Kurt. You can see him now. Yeah, I'm going to work on getting this area kind of finished up, and not too much more here. Alright guys, it has been almost We just sunk in the ground. That brings me into my point. It has been nearly 1 month since we were at this project. We basically pulled off because of weather. It snowed the day after we did this job. We had to go plowing. And then we had a nasty blast of extreme cold weather, making it basically impossible for us to go work since, you know, there was snow on the ground. And doing dirt work with snow on the ground in a finishing capacity is pretty hard. So shortly after that snow melted, Kurt and I and my wife, Steph, got pretty sick. We're still getting over that. And then we got a really nice set of weather this week. Today's Thursday. And Monday rolls along, and aside from us being sick still, the dump truck driver, Alex, got sick himself. So it's been crazy. We're finally getting back to it. So we got the machines on the trailer to go spread 60 more yards of dirt, and then we have a bunch of seed and straw. So if everything goes to plan, we should be able to get this job done today. So let's get up there and hopefully get it done. I'd like to wrap this one up. Well, we're here back on site. You may remember, I hope you remember. You're still watching the same video, I'm pretty sure. 3 new piles of dirt. This stuff looks really nice and dry. Along with the site, I'm surprised at how decent everything is looking. Doesn't look like we got too much erosion. There is some wet spots a little bit down here, but overall looking good. The plan is to continue leveling this area out the best we can with the 1 pile of dirt that we owe them from the last project, and then using these extra 2 piles of dirt, even out this bowl in here a little bit, and then just straighten out this edge on the right side. So I'm gonna get going on that, get unloaded, and get spreading. It should not take very long to spread 60 yards now that it is all here at one time. Kurt went around, did our rough grade. So that's what this job is coded for, just rough grade. We gave him the option to come back in the spring, topsoil everything, and we'll see. We did seed. Kurt just ran around with the spreader, which, as you can see, took a casualty. It is one wheel now. How would you feel that that affected your spread rate, Kurt?
Spread rate was the same, just was a little tougher.
A little tougher. So now we're gonna put down straw, load up, get out of here, because that's it on this one. So let's get to it. Well, guys, sorry for the lack of filming. I haven't been feeling exactly the greatest, getting over the sickness. And then throwing a bunch of hay didn't make me feel any better. But looks a lot different than when we started. I think a lot better than when we started. Machines are loaded up. We're going home. And maybe, just maybe, we'll be back here in the spring to do final grade and topsoil, depending on whether or not the client wants to go for that. So that'd be a great opportunity to bring out a Harley rake, some topsoil, and get this thing cleaned up real nice. So I will see you on the next one. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that if you wanna. If not, it's cool with me too. And check out Kurt at NK Garage while you're at it, you know, if you want. All right, guys, I will see you on the next one.